Welcome back to In Ohio Country today. We're here at the Farm Science Review with Cassie Jo Arend here to talk about a lot of things that are going on product-wise in Ohio. You want to give us just a little bit of background about yourself before we get into that?
So I work for Shiftology Communication and have spent 15 years prior working for Cooper Farms doing agricultural communication.
Well, you know, people think agriculture is simply just raising the product, right? And that's far from the truth.
No, that's not at all where it ends. It's raising the products, it's marketing the products, it's creating quality and what the consumers are looking for. It's really thinking about what are those consumers wanting and working backward from there.
Well, you know, Cooper Farms is probably, obviously, they're one of the largest agricultural producers in Ohio. And Cooper Farms is very concerned from conception, from start to finish, so it's put on the plate. You want to just talk a little bit about that process, you know, and with the family-run business of Cooper Farms?
Yeah, vertical integration is really important to Cooper Farms. You know, it's a family-owned company and family-run to this day. They're almost on their 85th anniversary, actually. They've grown tremendously, but it's been through organic growth and working with local farmers and allowing them the opportunity to help grow those animals. But it's about quality. It's about providing the veterinary care, the proper feed, the proper ingredients, and ensuring that it's a high-quality product at the end and working with those private label companies. So you might not know that you're eating Cooper Farms products, but you're probably having it at some point because there's a lot of big brand names on them.
You know, they're talking about the quality. You want to, I mean, I think what I'm really impressed about, I have friends, being in agriculture myself, I have friends that grow turkeys and grow hogs for Cooper. But I think it's so important that the consumers understand what that really means from start to finish.
Yeah, it's really about paying attention to every little detail. So when you're growing them in a barn, like you mentioned, it's making sure that you have the proper air and ventilation. It's making sure that proper temperatures. We always laugh when we get calls about the weather. It's really hot or it's really cold. How do the animals feel about that? They don't know the difference. It affects the farmer much more than it affects those animals because that barn is temperature controlled and we're working to make sure it's a consistent environment for them. They have access to water and food all day. They have everything they want. They're living a very happy life.
Well, you know, you mentioned about Cooper Farms and their growth. I know that they probably even rank nationally when it comes to turkey production. You want to just give us a little bit of statistics on that, too?
So Cooper Farms is buying nearly 20 million bushels of corn a year, 115,000 tons of soybean meal, and making over 1 million tons of feed per year for those animals. And it's really about quality, ensuring that it's locally purchased from local farmers. Supporting that local area is really important, supporting those local economies. And then providing quality feed to those animals, knowing exactly what's in it and that they're getting the right ration at the right age, so that it's 100% quality at all times. As far as turkeys, they hatch about 15 million poults a year, and it's about 35 million live pounds. Cooper Farms is definitely one of the top turkey producers in the United States. They have been for many years, and they continue to work their way up. Really, it's about consistently providing that quality product, and then those customers continue to come back for more, and then there's more demand, and they produce some more. And that gives them the opportunity to work with more local farmers and continue to grow there. They're actually in the process of growing the turkey division right now and looking for more contract farmers.
Well, you know, Cassie Jo, it's one thing to raise the animal from start to finish, have great quality control on what they consume, but the health and welfare of the animal is important as anything else, right?
Yes. After human health and safety, that is our top priority. So it's working on ensuring that those animals are healthy and safe at all times. With HPAI right now, highly pathogenic avian influenza out right now, that's a big priority, and a lot of people are very concerned about that. And our veterinary team is working every single day to ensure that that is not a concern and to mitigate any risks. So on our breeding farms, where it's the highest risk, where you have the moms laying the eggs, you're making sure that we're showering every team member in every day. They're showering out. They wear farm clothing when they're on the farm. They change back into their street clothing off the farm. If you're coming into any other farm, you're ensuring that you're covering your boots. You're not wearing streetwear into a barn. You're covering them with plastic, or you're changing boots altogether. You're wearing special coveralls. So you're ensuring that you're not bringing things from outside into a farm, because that's the biggest risk that there is. Tracking with your feet is the best way to bring a disease in. So we're always working to mitigate that risk. And our veterinary team is working every single day on that path to make sure that we're creating those lines of separation, that we're ensuring our team members are taking every step properly so that they're not introducing diseases into a farm.
Well, so we've talked about all the steps Cooper takes to produce the product, make sure it's quality, and sell the product. But Cooper is really done a lot in giving back to the community.
Oh yes, it is really a fundamental part of who Cooper Farms is. It goes back to Virgil and Virginia, the founders of the company. They always wanted to give back to their community. Everything from donating turkey eggs to make noodles for their local church or whatever that might be. But now they're back to giving money to all the local organizations within the counties where they operate. And not only that, but also the food banks. So there's always going to be products that can be donated, whether it was they ran too much product or we have a little bit of extra meat and we're going to run something special so that we can donate this to the food banks, because there's always people that need protein. Food banks will tell you the biggest challenge they have is attaining protein. And especially through COVID, that was one thing that we really made a focus on, is donating that product to those food banks to ensure people had the right nutrition every day to provide for their families. You had kids home a little bit more often, and that cost more money to take care of them and to feed them. So making sure that they all had the access to that was really important.
Well, I would be remiss if I didn't bring this up. I mean, here we are at the Farm Science Review. It's September. In a couple of months, people are going to be thinking about something else, right? And Cooper Farms probably has the product that they need for their Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, that's what everybody thinks about. If you're in the local area, the turkey roast is what everybody talks about for Cooper Farms. It is a boneless turkey roast. It's the best thing you can possibly make. Throw it in the oven and basically forget about it. You don't have to do basting and all the other things that you have to do with a whole bird. It's so much easier. I'll never go back to cooking a whole bird again. I will say that Cooper Farms' main business is not around Thanksgiving, but we're definitely going to cater to that business and ensure that people have that. So any of the local people around Cooper Farms can get access to that at the country store or most of the local grocery stores.
Well, Cassie Jo, it's been great talking with you, and we greatly appreciate you being here.
Thanks for having me.